There are moments in football that no scoreline can truly capture. Thursday night in Vancouver delivered one of those unforgettable moments. Canada cruised to a commanding 6-0 victory over Qatar, a result that, on paper, should have dominated every headline coming out of Group B. It was the kind of emphatic performance that usually sparks conversations about tactics, standout goals, and title ambitions. But for everyone inside BC Place Stadium, and for millions watching around the world, the final score quickly became secondary. Instead, the night will be remembered for a heartbreaking injury that silenced an entire stadium. A moment so shocking that players, coaches, and fans immediately realized football had become far less important than the health of one player. Just 10 minutes into the second half, with Canada firmly in control of the match, midfielder Ismaël Koné was caught from behind by Qatar's Ismael. The challenge arrived late, with excessive force, leaving Kone no chance to protect himself. Within seconds, he collapsed to the turf, clutching his left leg in obvious agony. The reactions from both teams made it clear that this was far more than an ordinary foul. Canada captain Steven Eustáquio was among the first players to reach his teammate. Reflecting on the incident after the match, he admitted, "I saw his leg. I saw that something wasn't right." Those few words perfectly captured the horror of the situation. From the touchline, head coach Jesse Marsch didn't even need to watch a replay. He later revealed that he actually heard the sound of the bone snapping from in front of Canada's bench, a chilling detail that no player or coach ever wants to experience. Modibo was immediately shown a straight red card for the reckless tackle. Remarkably, it wasn't Qatar's first dismissal of the evening. Defender Homer Ahmed had already been sent off in the 33rd minute, forcing Qatar to finish the match with only 9 players. 2 red cards in a single international fixture are uncommon. Combined with such a devastating injury, the match instantly transformed from a routine group stage contest into one that will be remembered for years. As medical staff rushed onto the field, Kone was carefully placed on a stretcher with his left leg secured in an air cast. Despite the immense pain, he found the strength to wave to the supporters as he was carried off the pitch. The emotional gesture sparked loud chants of his name throughout BC Place, creating one of the most touching moments of the tournament so far. Kone was transported directly to a hospital in Vancouver, where medical examinations confirmed the worst fears: fractures to both his tibia and fibula. He later underwent successful surgery. Shortly afterward, teammate Moise Bomito shared a photo from Kone's hospital room, highlighting the close bond within the Canadian squad and the unwavering support they continue to show one another. What happened next, however, revealed another side of football that often goes unnoticed. According to Jesse Marsch, after the final whistle, Modibo personally entered Canada's dressing room to apologize to Kone. In a sport defined by fierce competition and high emotions, that gesture served as a reminder that respect and humanity can still shine through, even after the most painful moments. Jesse Marsch didn't try to sensationalize the incident during his post-match press conference. Instead, he offered a calm and honest account of what happened after the final whistle. "Let me be clear," Marsch said. "The player apologized to Ismael, came into the dressing room and apologized to him, and Ismael told the team that it happened." In the emotionally charged environment of international football, that is an incredibly rare scene. A player who had just been sent off for a tackle that resulted in a devastating injury personally walked into the opposing team's dressing room to apologize face-to-face. It was a gesture that reflected genuine remorse and served as a reminder that, despite the fierce competition, football is still built on respect and sportsmanship. From Modibo's perspective, it appeared to be an acknowledgement that this wasn't a calculated tactical foul or an intentional act of violence. Instead, it was a challenge with heartbreaking consequences that no player ever wants to be responsible for. However, Kone's injury extends far beyond the emotional impact on the Canadian squad. It also triggers one of FIFA's lesser-known financial protection systems, a mechanism that rarely enters public discussion but becomes critically important in situations like this. Kone plays his club football for Sassuolo in Italy's Serie A. Like every club represented at the FIFA World Cup, Sassuolo released one of its key players to compete for his national team. When a player suffers a serious injury during official international duty, the club can suddenly lose a valuable asset for several months, despite having no control over the circumstances that caused the injury. To address exactly this scenario, FIFA established the Club Protection Program. The initiative is designed to compensate clubs when their players sustain significant injuries while representing their countries in FIFA-sanctioned competitions. Because Kone suffered fractures to both his tibia and fibula during a World Cup match and required surgery, Sassuolo is expected to qualify for compensation through this program during his recovery period. This behind-the-scenes system highlights an often overlooked side of modern football. Every World Cup involves not only elite athletes competing on the biggest stage but also a complex network of insurance policies, financial safeguards, and agreements between clubs and governing bodies. While fans focus on goals, trophies, and unforgettable moments, organizations are working quietly to protect the clubs that invest millions in developing these players. For Canada, though, the emotional and sporting significance of the night cannot be ignored. Despite the heartbreaking injury, the team produced a historic performance, defeating Qatar 6-0 to record Canada's first-ever FIFA World Cup victory in the tournament's modern era. The result also lifted Canada above Switzerland to claim first place in Group B, strengthening their hopes of advancing deep into the competition. Jonathan David once again proved why he is considered one of the brightest stars in Canadian football, scoring a spectacular hat-trick. His third goal arrived deep into 9 minutes of stoppage time, additional time that was largely caused by the lengthy delay following Kone's injury. Yet after the match, David showed little interest in celebrating his personal achievement. Instead, his thoughts remained with his injured teammate. Reflecting on the tackle, David said, "If there's a play where you cannot win the ball, there's no point." His words echoed the feelings of countless players and supporters who believed the challenge simply wasn't worth the risk. In one of the night's what makes this story even more heartbreaking is the timing. Just 2 days before the match, Ismaël Koné had celebrated his 24th birthday. It should have been the beginning of one of the biggest weeks of his career. Instead, it became one of the most painful moments any professional footballer can experience. Kone entered the tournament carrying plenty of expectations. In Canada's opening 1-1 draw against Bosnia and Herzegovina, he was widely regarded as one of the team's standout performers. That performance was especially impressive considering he had only recently recovered from a wrist injury suffered during a pre-tournament friendly against Ireland. Many questioned whether he would be fully fit for the World Cup, but Kone quickly erased those concerns with an energetic, confident display that reminded everyone why he has become such an important part of Canada's midfield. Everything seemed to be falling into place. His confidence was growing, Canada's campaign was gathering momentum, and the Qatar match looked like another opportunity for him to establish himself as one of the tournament's breakout stars. Then, in a matter of seconds, one reckless challenge changed everything. Former Canada head coach John Herdman immediately recognized the seriousness of the injury. He later explained that the moment reminded him of Tajon Buchanan's devastating broken leg suffered during training in 2024. For the Canadian coaching staff, it was an all-too-familiar reminder of how quickly football can shift from celebration to heartbreak. No matter how experienced a coach becomes, watching one of your players leave the field with a serious injury never gets any easier. Yet amid the disappointment, Herdman was quick to praise the character of the Canadian squad. Reflecting on the team's response, he said everyone was devastated when Kone went down, but they understood they had to stay focused because they believed Ismael would have wanted them to finish the job. Herdman also revealed that he had spent the last 2 years telling people this Canadian team possessed something special beyond its talent. According to him, true character is revealed during moments of adversity just as much as during moments of victory, and this match perfectly showcased both. Interestingly, this wasn't always the relationship many expected between Kone and head coach Jesse Marsch. During a friendly against Romania in September 2025, the two shared a heated exchange on the sidelines after Marsch substituted Kone while Canada was protecting a lead. The midfielder's visible frustration sparked headlines, but both men insisted afterward that the disagreement had been resolved internally.